Hey, welcome back. It's on to stage 10 after a rest day. Although as the riders get out and ride and don't exactly rest, it's just a day off from racing. And sometimes that makes for a tough next day, and boy, this stage has been tough. It's some have come out hard and fast. Others came out not exactly feeling it, or feeling it in a very negative sense. But I spent my rest day. My wife actually did a storytelling performance, so got to do that. Actually got something that wasn't cycling and was plenty fun.
Couldn't wait to get back.
I don't know if you can hear her back there saying, yeah, how much I miss the racing. I also got everything shipped out. Actually, I got to put them out in the mail before the mailman comes, but everything all packaged up and sent, ready to go, that has sold thus far. So that is a nice reminder to say all of this work is for sale. And in some cases, pieces sell very quickly. Your clue is, if you follow me on Twitter, the clue that they're about to start is when I post Bridget's favorite. And then shortly after that, I'll start putting up each painting on the website, thus meaning it's ready for sale. And then right after that, I tweet it out. So as soon as you see it pop up on Twitter or on Instagram, either one, or Mastodon, they all pop up there in that order. So that's always your clue on, okay, it's ready, better grab it. And that only gets more, well, obviously depending on the image, that gets more of a fast grab to get a particular rider or a particular event. And as it gets deeper into the tour, that gets more aggressive. So this is Esteban Chavez, the I believe Ecuadorian champion, riding for EF Education, and then the Frenchman Warren Barguil, who, unlike most of his countrymen, and certainly the champion, and Madoua, he's the champion, and Godot, the expected GC guy, are having a really bad day today. But they're on the descent of the biggest climb of the day. I think there's 2 more climbs yet to come. And what I noticed, and part of the reason I wanted to do this, there's always this, the tour rides through incredible scenery. Some I've actually painted. One of the paintings I painted out, A Wonderful Day Out, or Beautiful Day Out, was when the peloton was riding along the coast near Bayonne, on the coast of the Bay of Biscayne, and just incredible scenery. And it's like, do the riders ever get to see any of the scenery? And this is the first time I've actually noticed, as they're on the descent flying down the mountain with a good 44 seconds on the group behind them and a full 2.5 minutes ahead of the main protagonists of this tour, Warren Barguil is actually taking a look out over he's looking up the road and down across the valley, and not looking back to see where everybody is. So I think he's actually enjoying the view for a change. Good on him. Yeah, we'll call it looking around. And I was putting the title of the painting up, or the date of the first painting day. I went, oh, wait a minute. It's Slurpee Day. So happy 7-Eleven Day for those who celebrate. I think when I take those paintings to the post office, I'll pick up Slurpees. So essentially, some teams do a really good job with national champions jerseys, and others, it's hard to tell. But Reigning Victorious being one of the, no, actually, Reigning Victorious, yeah, they're pretty minimal in their depiction. And UAE, I think, is probably the worst. So really, you can't tell the difference between a champion jersey and the regular jersey. It just has an extra stripe. That's the flag. And of course, Madois, who's the French champion on a French team, his jersey is particularly, there's not even any sponsorship logos or anything on it. It is just the red, white, and blue, or bleu, blanc, et rouge of the French flag. And I think EF has done a very nice job with this, and Liddell Trek did a great job with the U.S. Champions jersey, and I think, although he's now out of the race, he crashed and tore it up pretty bad, and they finished the stage, and then I think raced 2 more stages, but Quinn Simmons had to pull out the day before the rest day. Just couldn't keep going based on the injuries he had. Right before the tour started, I had a stupid little crash. I wasn't moving. I didn't go down hard on my well, I went down hard on my shoulder, but it was because I forgot to unclip. All of you who ride, I've always had the joke that the first day you wear cleats, just go ahead and fall off the bike right away, get it out of the way, because you're going to do it. But I did it and fell hard on my shoulder on some brick edgings, and that was it. I mean, I couldn't even work for a couple days. Whereas Quinn Simmons went down hard, took off a lot of skin, left a lot of the stars and stripes, mainly the stars. The stripes managed to avoid getting ripped off because the stars were all across his shoulder. Bob Roll during the broadcast was kind of joking that he left about 20 states behind, which I thought was pretty good on Bob. I thought that was a funny one. So just again moving through first the warm, and then I'll now about to shift to the cool colors. And then I like to get it, because the rest of this jersey is white, use a little bit of this blue just to give a little dimensionality, so it's the shadow. And if you go out and really look at shadows, they're not black. Shadows are quite blue. Take the time to really look. That's one of the things about painting, and is that it really teaches you to look, or it should teach you to look. And when I travel now, I actually pre-sell postcards when we travel. These little watercolor postcards, which is where the original idea, the brilliant idea of my wife Bridget to paint the tour came from, because it was her idea when we were traveling to pay for our travels by pre-selling postcards. But where I'm going with that is that if you stop, and even if you're not an accomplished artist, take the time when you travel to stop and actually draw all the scenery that you're looking at. Try to get, even just make notes. Or if you're a writer, write about it. Because it slows you down. If you just run from place to place and shoot a bunch of pictures, you're not really looking at it, and you don't really absorb the details of the scenery. It's a little bit of a slow down, and in this case, draw the roses as opposed to smell them. But the idea is the same. It'll really help you savor the journey a little more and really notice the particular details of what you're looking at. Because if you're just shooting a picture, you don't really look at it. Get it in the frame, snap the picture and go, okay, got that, and then go on. Oops, that's not the color I wanted. So I'm going to make a little more of my black. Again, picking up first this dark green, sort of a Payne's or a Hooker's green. Makes for a more interesting black, and there's variation in the black. If you notice, this one's a little more purple. This one's a little more a balanced combination of the green and the other color, of course, is an alizarin crimson, a purple tone, a little heavier on the red side. Now, this right here is a herd of cows. Whoops, that is not where I wanted to put that color. There are people, I believe the French word is vachon, or vachon, for cow, and there are Twitter handles that are basically the cows of the tour. A lot of people really enjoy, as do I, seeing all of the livestock. Not uncommon to see a herd of horses running along the side of the road. Now, part of the reason they're running is they're being scared by all of the commotion, the cows in particular, and it's often seen as from the helicopter. And let's face it, the cows are probably a little spooked by a helicopter flying over their head. So continuing to work. And again, I know I've said it before, but these brush strokes follow the slope of the hill, and that helps you, the viewer, read it as a slope. Just like as I put these little the underside of the tree, sort of do it in the direction as the tree would grow. Again, All of the brush strokes help reinforce directional aspects, help reinforce what's going on pictorially. So just about to get, now I have to come in here and get this grass along the guardrail, which comes back to being a brighter tone. And that's the other thing, you have not only the drawn perspective as things diminish going back, but you also have chromatic perspective. As things are closer to you, they're brighter, they're more defined, the color is more distinct, and as things drop off in the distance, they get less distinct, the colors are more muted. Again, they get washed out with a little bit of blue, just like the shadowing does. And so things appear, that's another way to help you make things appear to drift off into space. Got a little too much green still in my brush. Barguil's hair. And then really we just have the road surface. There are shadows up under the bikes, but the position that this is in, we can't really see the shadows. So I just want to build, again, a bit of the black in quotation marks. And then add a bit of blue to it for the roadway. And this is the ultramarine blue. And then lay it in as a wash. Always following the direction that things are moving. And then the road sweeps on past these trees, the Lee Commissaire vehicle right there, and on down the mountain. So that's this piece. Should have said it beforehand, but please be sure to subscribe so you can see these as they pop up. There's one per stage. It'll go all the way through the, so this is stage 10, so there's 11 more stages of the men's race, and then the women's race is 8 stages long. That last day of the men's race is the first day of the women's, so they'll post on the same day. You can go over to my blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com, where you can read about all of the paintings per stage. There are already 2 more today. And then there you'll find a direct link to my website, gregleach.com, where you can purchase the pieces. But as I said before, don't dilly-dally. But this is the last place they pop up. So thanks for taking the time to look. Give a thumbs up if you like what you see, and subscribe so you'll know when they pop up again. Thank you all.